Hi, everyone. I've been coaching now for just over 10 years, and I've worked with people around relationships, habits, careers, health, life transitions, all kinds of things. And while everybody's situation is different, I keep seeing the same patterns. So these aren't really tips. They're things I think you need to understand if you're trying to move forward in your life. I'm Jason. I'm your friendly neighborhood coach. Let's go. The 11 things are, it's not just going to happen for you. You need to change your system or systems. Having a team is probably going to help, and it's going to feel cringe. Asking for help or what you want is a huge step. Creating community for yourself is at least as important as networking upwards. The little things like sleep, nutrition, creativity, and activity touch everything else. A clear goal needs things you can measure. Celebrating your victories is part of building momentum. The separation of tasks is a major step towards making progress and your own mental health. Routines are at least as important as motivation. Starting doesn't mean you are going to be good right away. Practice or getting reps is a thing. A little explanation. What I mean when I say it's not just going to happen for you. Wanting something isn't the same as creating it. When I grew up, cars would drive by, the nice cars, and we'd elbow each other and say, "That's my car. That's my car." And the truth is, none of us were doing anything in order to get that car. You can spend your whole life dreaming, focusing, thinking about the thing that you want to get. If it's not happening for you, the reality is that you need to do something or things different in order to get it. It's not going to just come for you. Another thing I've seen a lot of is waiting for the right time. People are looking at their lives and say, "Oh, I'll do this after this happens," or I'll pick something simple. I'll start entertaining people when I buy the bigger house. But first I have to get the job that pays me more. And before I get the job that pays me more, I have to go to school. Here's a reality. Yes, you can do all of those things, but you probably start entertaining people and building connections now, even though you don't have the big house. Waiting for someday or a lottery or for a huge windfall in order to do the things that you want in your life. When you could be working towards your goals now, when you could be trying to create the life that you want to have in the next little bit, step by step right now. At some point, you have to make a decision to take action. It's important to ask yourself, what am I actually doing to make the thing that I want more likely? Number two, you need to change your system or systems. Same routines, same results. If you've been, for example, working out and trying to eat better for the last 2 years, and you're finding that not only are you not getting more energy, getting more stronger, and getting the results that you want, the likelihood is that something drastic or maybe simple needs to change about what you're doing. You can keep doing the same thing and you find you're getting weaker, you're getting less energy, and you are for sure not reaching your results. That happens to people all the time. And it doesn't just happen with physical fitness, it happens with our careers, it happens with our relationships also. We often try to change ourselves without changing our environment or our system of living. We really want something different to happen, but the reality is we haven't changed anything in our daily lives. We're doing exactly the same thing, expecting the results to compound. Now, I believe in compounding, but you got to tweak your systems every now and then or change them if you aren't seeing the results over time that you want. Big reminder here, motivation is not a system. Doing something because you feel like it is not going to pay off. A lot of things are easier at the beginning because we have some dopamine or adrenaline and we're just starting out. So the biggest gains are at the beginning. If you make 100% gain at the business of your business when going from one customer to two customers, that's something you should celebrate. But in order to go up 100%, when you have thousands of customers, you can expect it's going to take more work, right? So you really have to think about the fact that you're not always going to feel like doing the things that you need to do. There's tons of examples where you will feel better after you do the thing, not while you're doing it. I don't love working out. I feel great after I work out. I don't even love eating some healthy food. But the truth is, I feel a lot healthier when I've been eating better than when I've been eating like a trash panda. Think to yourself, what needs to become easier? What needs to become harder? One of the best things I did for myself was getting a home workout system. So I didn't have to get up, leave the house, drive to the gym, wait for the machines. It helped me a lot. Now, some people that wouldn't work for them. That's something that worked for me. When I say what needs to be harder, I don't buy a lot of junk and keep it in the house because when I do, I love a treat and I'm going to eat those treats and not stop, even though I know that I shouldn't. So I make it harder for myself to get the treats. I also buy more bougie treats now than I used to. So I spend more to get really high quality treats, but then I have less of them than if I buy a big old bag of terrible cookies from the supermarket. Just one example. Think about what needs a cue in your life. What is the thing that you're going to need a reminder because you're not going to remember to do it? Some of us have sticky notes all around our computers because no matter what we do, we're not going to remember to do that thing. Take out the garbage, wash the dishes, go to the store. So we just put a sticky note. I prefer to use the calendar and then I get reminders on my phone that tell me I'm supposed to be doing something right now, not just watching shows or talking to friends or being on the internet, reading things that are interesting, but aren't the things that I need to do for myself. Think about what needs to be removed or reduced. Sometimes we're doing things that we really are enjoying or really give us some peace. Like we'll start watching a show that has 8 seasons and each episode is 45 minutes and there's 12 or 20 shows in each season. And then we just, after work, we sit there and we watch this show. There's nothing wrong with that if you don't have anything else that you want or need to do with your life and with that time and that attention. So think about what you need to remove or reduce. I work with clients who are trying to not use recreational substances or not drink as much alcohol. And one of the things that a lot of them do is they just remove it from their house. They get rid of it so that they're not tempted to do it. Because instead of saying to themselves, hey, I'll be able to just have one drink, or I'm not going to wake and bake and smoke all day and just lay in bed, they know that that's not going to happen for them. So for them, they need to remove those substances from their premise. Another thing that I've found working for me is the philosophy of not living on autopilot. The question I have to ask myself, and I encourage you to ask, is your current autopilot taking you where you want to go? Think about it. If it isn't, then you got to take control of your life and do something different, or the autopilot is going to take you to the same place it's been taking you over and over again. Number three, having a team will probably help, and getting one is probably going to feel cringe. We don't like asking people for help. Most of us, anyways. Those of us who do sort of make up for the rest of us. You know what I mean? We tell ourselves, I should be able to do this by myself. Here's the reality. Let me correct myself. No people are really self-made all by themselves. We all got here without the help of ourselves, which means two people probably got together and decided to, or just did, have a child. Without them, we wouldn't be here. And then there's any number of other things that play into our lives that help us to become who we are. Some of those things are actually challenges. They're not all good things. But the bottom line is, without all of the factors in your life that happened to you, you wouldn't be here right now being who you are. So having a team is something that can help you in your life. And telling yourself that you're going to do everything on your own is a sure way to either not get things done or to break your life while you're trying to get those things done. Quick reminder that team doesn't always mean employees. A team could be a coach, a mentor, a therapist, a friend, a partner, or your community at large. The people who are around you, who talk to you about what's going on in your mind, who help you to plan things, who help you to execute, who are there to be beside you, can be your team. It doesn't have to be people who work for you or people you pay. Sometimes you do have to pay, but you can get a lot of good community without having to pay for it. There are people around you who admire you and who want to work with you and see you succeed, but it's up to you to allow them. A big one that a lot of my clients struggle with, especially guys like me, is that being supported isn't a weakness. A lot of our culture, especially for dudes, makes us feel like if I can't do everything myself, I'm broken or something's wrong with me. I should be able to do everything. But here's the thing, it's not true. People need help. People need other folks to come along and support them. And here's the thing that I have found working with people, the same people that I find who have that attitude are helping people all the time. And what I'll ask them is, do you think that all the people that you help are broken? Every now and then someone does tell me, well, yeah, but most of them don't feel that way about the people that they help. So the reality is we're projecting something onto ourselves and making things very difficult for ourselves in a way that we wouldn't judge other people. It can feel incredibly uncomfortable at first. You are asking people to invest in you. And that's not easy for a lot of people because we understand that when people invest in other people, that they're making sacrifices of their time, attention, effort, strength, money. But you're in community, which means you have the ability to invest in other people or even trade the things that they're doing for you. And I want you to think about that. Are you worth the investment? Are you willing to invest in other people? Asking for help or asking for what you want is a huge step. What is asking for help? What is asking for what you want? They aren't the same thing. When you say to somebody, I need help, you can be saying, I'd like your input on something. I have this idea. Let me run it past you. I really would love to get your thoughts on something. Sometimes help isn't actually even physical. Sometimes it's just having somebody who will listen to you. A lot of the people I work with, they need somebody who can listen to them and make sure to understand what they are saying and give it back to them in the way that they understand it. It allows those people to clarify their thoughts and get things cleared for themselves. When you're asking for what you want, you might be saying, I want this relationship to look different. I want how we work to look different. I want to be making more money next year. I want to be able to take more time off next year. I want to be doing more things that I enjoy. That's not asking for help. That's telling people what you actually want in your life. And there's vulnerability in both. Number 5, creating community is at least as important as networking upwards. This one is so important. And the hard thing is that we're told to network up. Who can help me? Who can open this door for me? Who's the owner of this thing that I want to get into? Who can advance my career? Who knows somebody that can get me in? Now, here's the reality. Knowing the owner of a club and knowing the person at the door pretty much gets you the same result. And life is similar. When you are networking with people who are on your level, or when you're mentoring people who aren't even on your level yet, you have no idea how much you're going to get from it. You are going to change because you are helping those people. And you are going to learn things from people who aren't even where you are. There's lots for you to learn from people who are just starting out also, because they might be onto things that you haven't learned about yet because it's a new thing. Things are changing all the time. So be open to networking with people, not just the people who are above you or the people that you think can open doors from you because they are on the higher level. Think about who knows you, not just who you know. Who can support you? Who can you call? Community isn't just about the opportunity. It's about belonging, support, perspective, and resilience. I'm building a community on School just to do exactly that, to get people together and share their perspectives on things. Number 6, little things touch everything else. The things that I end up working on with most of my clients are sleep, nutrition, creativity, movement, and activity. None of these things are super fancy, but it's really hard to work on your relationship when you're exhausted, when you're just sleepy and cranky. Think about how hard it is to make good decisions when you're hungry, or as we like to call it, hangry. And it's hard to go after your goals when your body is telling you to slow down because you don't have the energy to keep going. You need to get all of these things in order or improved step by step in order to reach your goals. And thinking that you're just going to grind it out and everything is going to go well, a lot of times it leads to your health deteriorating and then you don't reach your goals anyways. Number 7, clear goals need things you can measure. I want you to challenge yourself here. A goal without a measurement can become just a wish. Not everything needs to be quantified, but you need some evidence that you're moving. Couple examples. If you're improving your relationship, what would you actually like to see? What would that look like every week or in 3 months or in a year? If you say you want to get healthier, what are you tracking? Some people track steps. Some people track their calories. Other people track how many calories they burn or their heart rate. But what are you going to track? What matters to you? When people say, oh, I want to write more, whether you're a writer or whether you are into music or whether you're a content creator, how often will you write? Are you just going to wait until you feel like it? Or can you write and set times for yourself where you will do it? When you say you want to spend more time with friends, how often? Is that going to be a weekend thing? Is it going to be a daily thing? Is it all in person? Can some of it be calls and Zoom calls and things like that? What is it that you can measure so you can see how things are changing? Number 8, celebrating victories builds momentum. We're often terrible at noticing progress. We really don't like to celebrate our victories. And immediately we move the goalpost. Yeah, I know I said I would work out, 3 times a week, but really I should be working out 5 times a week. If you just started working out and you work out 3 times a week for the first 3 weeks, and you sit there and look back and tell yourself, I still suck and I'm not meeting my goals, you're really making it hard for your system to see that you trust your system and that you are going to reward it for the hard work that it's done. Celebrate the rep, the consistency, doing something differently. Don't wait until you reach the mountain to acknowledge that you climbed 500 feet. Don't wait until you've run your marathon to celebrate that you started running and training and getting stronger. These are things you can celebrate. I've had clients who, unfortunately, right before the marathon, they got hurt. It doesn't take away the months of training that they did to be ready for the marathon. Of course, it's disappointing and it's okay to grieve. But if they didn't celebrate all the work that they did, when they got to that day, they would have been so much more disappointed because they didn't give themselves the pleasure, the joy of going through all the training that they did. Number 9, the separation of tasks is a major step. Let me explain tasks. The tasks are the things that are yours to do as an adult. They're not other people's things to do. So when you say, what's my task? My task is in a relationship, in my relationship with my partner, my task is to actually support her and try to be a good husband to her. Her task is to recognize that and to try and do things for me that make her a good partner. Way I look at it, the relationship is the third person in our relationship, the relationship itself. There's things that I do for the relationship. There are things that are my task and there are things that are her task. The same thing happens with my kids. It happens with work, with my clients. I can suggest things and systems and tweaks all I want. But if people aren't willing to try them, then that's their task and they haven't done their task. So it's going to be hard for them to get the result that they want. So I want you to think about what's actually your responsibility in anything and what are you trying to control? Is it something you can really control? If you're trying to take a task from another adult, you are in for what's called a power struggle. And the reality is it's not going to go well. You won't feel good. They won't feel good. And it's not going to end up being a happy relationship. You really want to let them do their tasks. Sometimes moving forward isn't about doing more. It's about stopping yourself from doing things that aren't yours to do in the first place. If you want to move forward, sometimes you do need to let the other person learn how to do their task better. And if you keep doing it, they won't learn how to do it better. There's something I call spotting error. If you are trying to work out and the person who's spotting you is lifting all the weight, you're not really getting stronger. So if you're in a relationship with someone and you're lifting all the weight and you're expecting them to improve and get better, you're not making them better. You are not helping them. In fact, they're probably getting weaker and weaker at the thing. And meanwhile, they're walking around thinking they're doing better. Number 10, routines are at least as important as motivation. Your motivation fluctuates. Some mornings you wake up and you can't wait to do the things you need to do. Your motivation fluctuates based on what it is that you need to do or who you need to do it with. I'm telling you right now, sometimes you can't wait for people to cancel their plans because you don't want to have those plans with those people. But there's other people who, if they cancel the plan, you would be devastated. Routines reduce decision making. So when you have a thing that's in front of you that you know you're supposed to do and you do it, you're not making a decision anymore. That's what a routine is. And building a routine actually helps to take away some of the mental energy you're spending deciding if you're going to do something. You don't need to feel like doing everything. Some of the things that you need to do, very importantly, like drinking water for some people, they never feel like drinking water. They only feel like drinking Coke or coffee or milkshakes, but they need to drink water because it's not healthy for them to only drink milkshakes. You need to build the structure around your behavior in order to have success and stop relying on motivation. You have to build systems that support the person that you want to become, not the person that you are disappointed with right now. Last but not least, number 11, starting doesn't mean you're going to be good immediately. Whether it's a new relationship, exercise, a new business you're starting, or a skill you're trying to cultivate, a new habit that you're trying to build into, a routine, new communication style. The truth is that for most people, especially if it's something you have to work at, you're going to suck at it. There are a few people who are really good at certain things, and the rest of us sit around and watch them and say, I should be able to do things as well as that person. Getting your reps matter. Getting your practice matters. You don't become confident and then start. You start out, and then as you see yourself progressing, you get reps and the confidence comes later. When I look at these things together, I think moving forward usually isn't one giant decision or move. It's a series of small changes to your systems. Asking for help, building community, taking care of yourself, measuring progress, and being willing to be bad at something. Being willing to be bad long enough to actually get better. And honestly, that's probably what I've learned most in the last 10 years of coaching. You don't need to have the whole thing figured out. You do need to figure out what the next step is. I'm curious, out of these things, which one do you think you need to work on right now? Put it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're working on. And if you're interested in having conversations like this with other people who are trying to make meaningful changes in their lives, I'll put the link for the bridge below. And if this was useful, subscribe. I've got more coming. I hope this helps. Take care.